Michael Raleigh, and I am here to show you how to make shaker cards and give you some tips on how to add them and be successful. I'm going to start here by showing you this beautiful selection of paper called Memory Lane, available right now with Close to My Heart, and it is a double paper pack, so you get 12 sheets. It also comes with a paper, stickers, and a stamp set, which I'm going to show you right here. So this is the stamp set I'm going to be using from the Making Memories. And then I also wanted to show you or have out here the thin cuts that I'm using. I'm using the shaker window thin cuts with confetti. Right now I'm just using these two pieces, but you can use these as well to make your own confetti. Let's get started and I'll show you how to create the shaker card. Right here is the shaker card that I have created, and what I did was I used the workshop given to me by Close to My Heart, available for everyone who wants to look at that on my website, and it had a circle element on it. So I turned that circle element into a shaker card. I've done some of my cutting according to the workshop guide off camera, so that won't take as much time. You have access to that as well. And I've also done my thin cutting off camera. And here is the frame. Okay, we're gonna start with the card base here. These are the Close to My Heart bulk card bases that make size A2. And I'm just gonna add this piece here, 4 1/4, no, it's 4 by 5 1/4 to the front of my card. And then as the regular workshop directions show, I'm adding this piece here that I've created according to the workshop. And this is one of the zip strips. It's cut in half to make it 1/4 inch. And then it attaches right there. Well, this is take 2. You weren't there, you didn't get to see what I just did, but I made a big mistake, which happens when you're creating. Close to My Heart has shaker window foam and acetate. We're gonna pull out one of the foam pieces and one of the acetate pieces. Now the acetate has a film on it, and that film is to protect it from being scratched. So if you can't get the film off, you can use your rub and remove eraser and pull that off. It's only on one side, and this one happened to be already off just a little bit. And I'm gonna set that aside. Make sure you set it where you can find it because it's clear, and sometimes it's tricky to find. Okay, what I like to do is on my foam tape, I like to go all the way around the edge with a sharper object. You can use scissors, a paper piercer. It's just to kind of loosen up. As you can see, there's these grids and squares on there. Now, because we're gonna cover up a lot of area with this flower, I don't want my shaker beads to fall down below there. So what I do want to do is I want to leave some of my squares in so that it will block that. I'm gonna just outline the squares that I'm gonna keep using kind of my cut piece, which I pre-stamped and cut out. It is fussy cutting. There are not die cuts that go with this particular stamp set. So I'm gonna pull off the sticky outer ring, or the covering to the sticky outer ring. And then I'm gonna pull off the squares or partial squares for the pieces that I'm gonna use as a block for the beads. This is gonna take a minute here, so I'll speed this up. There we go. So I've got these spaces uncovered. It doesn't matter to uncover these spaces. It's gonna create that block just like that so that my beads won't fall. What I wanna point out is this is very sticky. So if you are gonna touch it, make sure that your fingers are on the covering because it's easy to distort, especially the ring, if your fingers get caught and you try to pull them off. And I just recommend you taking your time thinking through these steps as you go along. Even I, as I said earlier, this is take 2 for me because I wasn't paying attention and didn't have my tape correct. Okay, taking my acetate, and the area that's uncovered is now going to stick, and you're not going to be able to move it, but I'm going to lay this flat down on top of here as best I can, matching circle to circle. Now again, you don't want to try to pull this up because it won't pull up. It's really tricky to untape it. I'm a little off on the edges, but once I put my frame over top of it, it will cover that up without a problem. Now, my second part here is I'm actually going to pull the backing off. This is going to show more stickiness, and I'm going to take with it all of those squares that were not part of my block. And I'm, again, just taking my time here. Looks like there's some that are hooking on there that I want to hook on there. Okay, so that is the area that is going to block my pieces. And if you put this down, whoops, I got to do it on the other side to show you. I really don't want to touch this, but this is going to block like this. Now I'm looking at that and noticing that this is an extra piece that I don't need, and it's stuck to that. So I'm going to pull that out very carefully because I don't want that piece in there. These pieces on the bottom don't matter as much, so they can come out if you want. Mine are kind of sticking up, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them out so they don't cause any issues. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pour my beads in this top section. Now again, you want to be super careful that you're not going to get this on the sticky part. So what I would recommend doing is just taking your non-stick part of your ring and just using this as a place to kind of hold on here. That way your finger's not going to stick to anything. And then I've got some little seed beads here. We sell all kinds of sequins and seed beads. These used to be on the Close to My Heart website. I don't believe we carry them anymore, but you can use, we've got sequins and stars and so many different things. So I've added mostly kind of this light yellow bead, and I know if you can see in here that I've done a little bit of this coral color, and so I'm going to add just a few coral beads in here, just a little pinch to carry that color over into the shaker beads. My last thing here that I have is the stamp set says so much fun or so much love. I'm going to take that so much and stamp that in this corner of my shaker card. So you can see the flowers are going to go here. I've blocked this off, and if I put so much, which I didn't do on this one, I'm going to stamp that with my intense black ink. Not really necessary, but it's what I have on my desk right now, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to ink that up really well, and I want to make sure to go in enough so that it will be seen, but not quite center. And there is the so much. Okay. Now again, I'm treating this very cautiously, and I'm going to take off this piece that was keeping my fingers from sticking to it. And I want this so much to show up in this corner when I flip it over. So I'm going to make sure as I flip this over, I've got that straight. Put that down, matching up the circles the best I can. Again, taking it slow. And there is my so much. Now, the next thing I'll do is use my adhesive. You can use our regular close to my heart adhesive, or you can use a liquid adhesive. We have a couple of different liquid adhesives, liquid glass, and some Tombow liquid. And I'm gonna lay this on here very carefully. I wanna keep this so that it's going that way. My flowers may be off to the side a little bit, but that helps keep that straight. And now I'll take a minute to color these. And through the magic of video, I am done. So now what I want to do is, remember we had kind of fitted this so the beads would not fall down below where this is going to be. And I'm going to have to do it a little bit on the side, but that's okay. I'm going to add my adhesive and add that too. Okay, so I moved that just slightly to cover up my tape. Now I have beads and they'll shaker in there, but they won't cover my so much, and they won't cover that as well. With a little bit of my adhesive, I'm gonna add this to my card. And then I have taken the word love, which I stamped on one of our patterned papers, and I'm gonna just pop that up using a bit of this leftover adhesive. And I'm not gonna pop up that L because it's gonna lay over top of the shaker card. And I don't want it to bend there or be too high. So I'm just taking little pieces of this. This is perfect use for all these inside pieces that you might have. I'm using my micro tip non-stick scissors to make them a little smaller. And so much. Just kind of center that. So that piece is gonna lay on top of my shaker. And then I've got those foam tapes underneath there. And there we have it. There is a shaker card created out of the Memory Lane Card Workshop. Thanks for stopping by. If you love this video, please share it with someone and mark it if you need to come back to it so that you can see how to make shaker cards. And subscribe to my channel for more videos coming up again soon.